Most people wait until January 1st and every year they fail to hit their goals. But if you do these 3 steps before the new year even starts, you make your 2026 goals effortless. So let's get started. First step, you want to make money and be successful. Manifest your dream relationship in the new year, right? Well, most people fall into the trap of desiring that thing or this thing to achieve for the new year without even realizing how to set a goal. You know, for example, when I was super, hyper, ultra lazy 3 years ago, I would dream and fantasize and idealize a version of me who is going to be able to stick to her goals. And I would desire that somehow one day I'm going to become that productive girl. I wanted to work at a job that I loved, making money. You know, I was super ambitious and I was only 13 years old. But the truth is that desiring a goal is not enough. That's why you keep wishing to become that version of you and then ending up every single year not achieving it and then feeling frustrated and then having low self-esteem, feeling like a failure. I've been there. The truth is that you are not incapable. You are just afraid to step into a new reality. Meaning you need to stop wishing, but instead you need to start listing your goals. It's even proven by science. Once you write down your goals, your brain is going to register it. That's why you see a lot of people saying, do scripting, write down what you want first. Another very important thing that a lot of people say is to be specific about it. You cannot write down only, I want to be successful, I want to be rich. Like, how you want to be rich? What job do you want to work on that is going to make you become rich? What is your definition of being successful? For a lot of people, success means a lot of different things. So now, grab a notebook, a pen, and start writing down what is the specific thing that you want. Don't limit yourself. There is a reason why you desire something. Don't be scared of dreaming big, of setting goals that seem impossible. Once you do that, your brain now is going to have a goal to focus on. And after doing this, the amazing thing that your brain is going to do is that it's going to search and notice more effortlessly all the opportunities around you that can help you to manifest this goal of yours. Because if you don't write your goals down in a specific way, your brain is not going to be able to notice even 90% of the opportunities that are going to make your process of achieving that goal more effortless. This was only step number 1. We haven't even made the core of it. So let's pass into step number 2. This is, I think, the most important step when it comes to making your goal more achievable and stop thinking that it's impossible or too big or too far from you. That's how every successful person has achieved their goal, which is something that a lot of people overlook because a lot of people set a big goal. For example, wanting to become a successful content creator for that specific year, and then the first month, without even trying for that long, they just quit because they realize that it's too hard, it's more complicated than they thought, and they think that it's not meant for them. That's how a lot of people ruin their lives and waste their fullest potential because they could have very easily to achieve that. One mindset I want you to have, even though it seems delusional at first, but the more you repeat it, the more it's going to become your default mindset, like it is for me, which is you need to start believing that everything is possible. If there is someone out there who is living your dream life, then best believe that you can too. So it all comes down on your mindset and the system of how you achieve that goal. These 2 things are going to dictate whether you're going to become successful at it or just quit like 99% of people do. And I know that you don't want to be average. You are meant to achieve extraordinary things in this life just for clicking this video. You know that frustration that you feel because you don't know what fucking thing you need to do to start a goal? Well, don't panic, okay? Because after you have listed the specific goal you want to achieve, which is a macro goal, you need to break it down in tiny little micro goals. For example, I wanted to start content creation and I broke them in maybe like 10 tiny micro goals that I need to accomplish step by step in order to achieve the big goal of being a successful content creator. And you need to separate these micro goals in a way that they are going to compound into each other so you are going to be able to achieve that big goal. So how do you do that? First of all, you need to set one specific micro goal for each month. So in 1 year there are 12 months. You need to be able to either divide your big macro goal into maybe 12 tiny micro goals. Every month, there is a specific micro goal that you need to master and focus on. So for example, for me, January was all about gaining confidence in front of the camera. Watch the first videos that I post, like I was so shy. Then for the second month, it was all about mastering thumbnails and title, how to get people to click my videos. The third month, all about mastering storytelling, and so on and so on. Once you do this, you're going to feel so relieved, because now all of a sudden it's like as if a heavy weight has lifted and you just believe that you can effortlessly 100% achieve your goal. But stay with me, because there is one mistake that a lot of people make that I personally did too, that is going to slow this process down. What I'm about to tell you is the reason why a lot of people don't achieve their big goal at the end of the year, which is the fact that they don't lock in on these goals every single month. Maybe like on January they're going to be all into that goal because, you know, it's the new year, you feel the motivation. But then like once you are mid-year, May, June, and it's summer, you are going to get naturally lazy, and don't let that happen. Because what happens is that on January, you have mastered 100% of that micro goal. And then on June and August, you have mastered the 30% of that micro goal that you set for these months. And like I said before, these results are going to compound into each other. And if you are making excuses, becoming lazy, and lose discipline, at the end of the year, you're going to only master maybe 50% of your goal. That's when a lot of people quit and think that there's something wrong with them. You know, because the truth is that if you really were serious about it, you would have never wasted even a single week. I was procrastinating last year and I didn't receive the results that I wanted. And only the last months of this year, I started to lock in and I started to receive results. I dropped out of high school to pursue content creation full time. Obviously, I'm not saying that you should do the same thing, but this was my version of locked in into it, you know? That's when I started to get more subscribers than ever, more views than ever. Trust me, your future self is the version of you who doesn't make excuses, who is extremely locked in and disciplined on their goals, and that's how they got successful. And from now on, you are going to be her or him. Third step, this is literally the thing that is going to make everything crystal clear for you, and it's going to make your goals 10x more effortlessly achievable for your brain. This is the last secret ingredient the 1% of high performers implement that separate from those who are underestimated at the beginning but then got uploaded once they get successful, from those who just seek validation, who don't put in the work and then end up feeling miserable at the end of the year. Because the average person just sets a goal for every month and then that's it. They don't go deeper into it. But we are not going to do that. Because what this does is that you are going to not being able to lock in fully and master 100% the micro habit that you set on that specific month. And that's when you think that you have done a good job to divide this big goal into micro goals. But in reality, you're not even in the juice of it. This is when everything is going to become more serious. And it's going to communicate to your subconscious mind that you are actually serious about that goal, which is by dividing this micro goal that you set for example, January, into daily habits that you can implement every single day or once a week, depending on how many reps you believe you need in order to master that one micro goal. So for example, for me, January was mastering confidence in camera. Do you remember? And I made sure that I didn't care about if I created the perfect thumbnail or a perfect video. I just focused on being the most authentic version of myself in front of the camera. And I practice it almost once a week. You know, I was still going to school at that time, so and then post the video, even though my hands were a little bit shaking, thinking the fact that maybe some of my classmates would see that. In fact, they did. And since I live in Italy, they complimented the fact that I spoke very well English, that I was very fluent, and I was like, oh my god, thank you, you know. And slowly but surely, I didn't care. Like, I really don't care if my mom or my classmates watches my videos. This is the thing that is going to help you to achieve that micro goal that you set for that month. If you don't do that, then you're doomed. You're going to likely procrastinate and think that you are already good at it if you don't set specific hours of the day to practice that craft of yours. The thing that no one's going to tell you is that, of course, this is going to be so uncomfortable. Like, you're just a freaking fresh beginner. Why do you expect that the first weeks of trying that new goal is going to be easy or comfortable? It's going to make you feel like you are failing. But this is a normal thing. This is a sign that you are learning. Your muscles are going to hurt the first week of you going to the gym. This doesn't mean that you're becoming weaker. It means that you're becoming stronger. The first time you're learning a new language, you feel like you are going to freak out, that your mind is going to explode. But this is exactly how you learn. Learning a new skill, craft, doing the reps to master a certain craft is not going to feel good, okay? And you need to expect that the journey is not going to be linear, but it's going to be like, you know, once you implement these 3 steps that literally will like change you for me, promise me like next year, please come back to this video and comment down below what happened to you, because your reality is going to dramatically shift for you, like it did for me. And remember, sometimes even though you have genuinely believed that you have tried your best to lock in every single month to achieve that specific goal, sometimes it's also normal that you won't achieve that big goal of yours at the end of the year, and don't blame yourself about it. Maybe there will be some knowledges that you didn't know you needed. Now, I know that I need to master a lot of other things about content creation that I didn't even know I needed to master last year. It may take 2 years or even more, but the hopeful part is that the more you take steps, the closer you are from achieving it. If you want to know about how real manifestation works and how I manifested my goals this year, then watch this video. See you there, Germananer!